What? What the heck, Kate? That could be like make or break with your progress. I'm telling you, it's gonna be worth it. Don't make excuses for yourself for something that's so simple to do. Even though I hate vegetables, please, 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 please promise me it's rare that it shouldn't be a part of your routine. I'm giving you the okay to be selfish. Hey, what is up? Kate the Great here. Welcome back to my channel. It's really nice to have you here. Today, I'm going to go over why you are not seeing results. Probably. I've taken a lot of things that I commonly find in clients or just people, just like observing people, of reasons why they aren't seeing results, haven't seen results, things that will delay your progress or regress progress. I mean, who wants that? The things I'm going to go through, you are probably going to think that these are very simple and like, yeah, Kate, duh, we know this, but I wanted to take the time to break them down, just talk about them again, whether this is the first time that you're hearing them, as simple as they are, or if you've heard them a bunch of times, maybe me telling you will be the one that just like really drives it in, and you'll say to yourself, you know what, I can actually do this. I just need to change and tweak a couple of different things. Sidebar to that, I also just wanted to remind you that I know that these are very hard things to do, things to change. Changing your lifestyle and habits that you have is insanely challenging. And I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I'm still on my journey. So things that I'm mentioning, just so you know, we're in this together. There are so many things that I'm still working on in my own journey. And before we jump into it, please give this video a like and subscribe down below. It really helps to support me and my channel, and so you can always come back and hang out with me again for whatever types of videos you like on here. I upload new videos every single week. All right, starting off with the basics. You could possibly not be drinking enough water. I see this so often, and as simple of a concept of drinking water is, so many people struggle with it. And by the end of the day, you might be thinking like, oh my gosh, I've only had a cup of water. How the heck did that happen? So it is in your best interest to implement habits early on in the day to get the water in, and then continue to drink water throughout the day. I would hate for it to be all of your progress being delayed just because you're not drinking enough water. So make sure you are staying hydrated, getting the water in. Don't make excuses for yourself for something that's so simple to do as drinking water. As a baseline start, I usually like to advise people to drink half their body weight in ounces. So you take your body weight, if you need to convert it to pounds, and then do half of that and drink that in ounces. The next thing is that you are possibly not getting enough sleep. So many people just look over sleep as a recovery tool. So you have rest days, you have mobility, foam rolling, fuel. All of these things will help you recover and essentially give you the gains post training or when you're not training. So sleep is right in there, except it gets shoved to the side way more often than it should. So taking advantage of your sleep as a recovery tool and just a way to get progress is in your best interest. So I know personally, sidebar about me, when I don't sleep well, my joints hurt more, I feel extra bloated, I will sometimes tend to overeat more than I should, and I don't feel good to train, and I can't connect with my core as well, or my glutes, and everything kind of hurts and just feels a little bit off compared to when I get a good night's sleep. Now, good night's sleep is different for everyone, so definitely figure out what works best for you. I definitely do not do as well with like less than like 7.5, maybe 8 hours of sleep, and I can really feel the difference. So get in tune with your body, try to learn how your body works, and find a good sleep time that works best for you. Next up is not eating enough. Shocking? Yes. So many people, in order to lose fat, will just drop their calories so drastically where you need to be in a calorie deficit. If you've watched my videos on fat loss before, that is just a necessity. However, some people will drop them way too far down where it has reverse effects. So you will not lose fat in the best way, the safest way, the most effective, the most sustainable way. So lasting and creating habits that will essentially last forever, or until you get your results and then go back into a maintenance phase. Funnily enough, a thing that I try to implement into my clients is to just basically aim for the calories that will get them the goals and not under eating. It is very common for people, again, to just under eat. So sometimes half of the battle is trying to just get people to eat enough, because when you're eating healthier, whatever that means to you, to a lot of people it'll mean eating more of a volume of less calorie foods. So finding foods that have less calories, which is awesome. However, if you're eating so much of so little, it's hard to get the calories in. So sometimes eating a protein bar that is deemed not as good for like 200 or 300 calories. Sometimes protein bars can be pretty high. This is just an example, of course. It'll be deemed not as good of a choice because it's higher calories. However, sometimes maybe it's a good thing because it'll force you to get in those calories, and then throughout the day when you're eating things that are lower calories or more voluminous foods like vegetables, even though I hate vegetables, but I gotta get rid, and salads and stuff like that, that you choose to eat lower calorie, you might not realize that you're actually under eating. So just try to be aware of how many calories you need for your goals, and if you don't know or if you need help, definitely reach out to me or find someone that you trust to give you advice on that. And then just try to be aware of what you're eating throughout the day and how many calories you're actually taking in, making sure that it's enough for you and for your goals. Of course, it'll vary per person, like everything. Moving into movement. Didn't mean for that to sound like that, but I kind of liked it, honestly. So into movement, a lot of people will stick with just the same weights. So you are doing a strength training exercise, please, because everyone should be doing strength training moves. Please, 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 please promise me that you will be start either incorporating strength training moves or that you're already doing them. Strength training, resistance training, anything like that, you have to be doing them for honestly most goals. So it's rare that it shouldn't be a part of your routine, like very rare. With that being said, people will cruise with the same exercises all the time, which is not a bad thing. However, people will not continue to load on resistance or increase the demand or the intensity as they should or as often as they should. So when you are cruising with good technique, number one, and to be honest, sometimes you have to go back to learn proper technique. So once you get that down, start loading on weight. Do not cruise with like body weight exercises. Will basically just keep you in one line without actually progressing. There's something called progressive overload. It means exactly how it sounds. You are progressively overloading your weight and resistance. So make sure you're constantly evolving. And again, if you aren't sure, reach out or find someone that you trust. Listen to people who actually know what they're talking about to be able to guide you on how to progress through exercises, aka the whole point of my existence as a trainer, helping people learn to progress and honestly when not to, and just overall programming of a workout, because that could be like make or break with your progress. On to the more mental side of things. In my opinion, a lot of people are not being selfish enough in order to be selfless. What? What the heck, Kate? What does that even mean? I find so often that people who are selfless, which is, you know, awesome. I hope that I'm selfless or come off selfless to some people. However, a lot of people will live their life helping others and not help themselves in order to help others better. For example, say someone has someone that they are helping. This is a very broad example, but try to narrow it down to like maybe you or someone that you know. You are helping this person and you are selfless and such a great person for trying to help this person. However, by default, you are pushing your health and your journey to the side. So whatever goals that you have, you're pushing it aside because these people or this person needs you. But I need you to be selfish. I need you to think about yourself, think about your goals, think about things that you have to get done that might have to push those other person's needs or other things to the side for you to focus on yourself. And I'm giving you the okay to be selfish because it is your life and you cannot help others unless you are helping yourself, and to make sure you're in a good place to help others. Think about it. Remember to be selfish sometimes. As much as you are selfish, as much as you are selfless, I need you to be selfish because it is your life, your body, and I want and need you to reach your goals and be as healthy as you can be for what you need and what you want. And that brings us into the last one, is a lot of people will not look at the bigger picture. So it is so often that we'll just zone in on our smaller goals, that maybe we don't look at the bigger picture in order to find motivation or find our why for why we're doing something. And sometimes people will just feel defeated if their short-term goals or the goals that they want the most, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, my aesthetic goals, if you've watched my journey, if you've watched my comeback series, click this video. I demonstrate this way more than I'm probably gonna explain it now of like my personal journey. Like, my aesthetic goals are just as high as my strength goals, which are just as high as my longevity goals and everything that I want in my life. When you are looking at your aesthetic goals, like, yeah, have I wanted to hit my aesthetic goals by now? Totally. However, I've come so much further in other goals that people don't realize they are crushing goals left and right without noticing them because they're focused so much on like the smaller picture. So try to think about what you want in the bigger picture, so the long run. And again, I explain it a lot more in this, but for example, like, I want to be able, if someone asks like, okay, can you pick this up for me? I can without thinking about it because I know I'm strong enough to do this and I know nothing in my body is going to fail me, and I'm always going to be available to help someone else. Again, that goes back to the thing that I was just talking about before, the selfishness to be selfless. Hopefully that makes sense now. So a lot of people will lose motivation or honestly not be able to even find motivation for themselves. However, they don't look at the bigger picture. So on specific days, like, yeah, sure, you don't feel like working out. However, you can tell yourself like, it will make a difference if I move this week, if I fuel myself properly, if I drink water, if I sleep well enough. All of this stuff is all looped in one because of the bigger picture. It'll all add up, trust me. And if you aren't getting your goals as fast as you want for the smaller goals that you have that are right here, just know that you are crushing it in order to hit the bigger picture goals. And to be honest, everything will morph into one when you get there, I promise. And to be honest, sometimes the bigger picture goals will never end. You will just keep adding things as you go. So like when I got injured, another goal just popped right in to heal my injury and then move more functionally. So things will evolve as you create this bigger picture of your life. Just try to look as far into the future as you can for the now, because I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. And that is it. That is all I have for you today. I try to take the most honest approach that I can to everything and just letting people know that the small things that they might be pushing off or things that you don't realize, or to be honest, you might have heard all of this before, except maybe this is going to be the last thing that really drives it in. I try to just tell you the truth, what you need to hear in order for you to progress towards what you want. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've made it this far into the video, I hope you have a great day and I will see you next time. Bye! What they talk. Wait, what was I saying? No.